Halo is a very important franchise. Without it, the Xbox as a brand would not exist. Halo was the one all-important game that made the console. All of these games are incredible, all the Halo games except the, This list is an objective opinion. If you don't agree, you should probably just die, because I think of you as a lower being compared to the brilliant elites that stand among us. Don't laugh. If you laugh at this stupid joke, you are pathetic. Seriously, dude. Like an Among Us joke in 2022, bruh. So I'll be ranking these games in 5 categories. 10 categories, 5 areas for the campaign, 5 multiplayer. So first the campaign categories. Story. Is the story interesting to play? Is the plot any good? Gameplay. Is it fun to play? Art style. Is it pretty? Level design. Is it fun to navigate? Difficulty. Is it absolute bullshit? Sniper chuckles. And now for multiplayer categories. Game modes. Those are pretty important. Gameplay loop, essentially the way the game plays. Balance, forge, and fun factor. The last one is pretty important. It's basically like a sum up of all of them. So let's start with Halo 1. Nah, Halo C's story is quite simple, but simple isn't necessarily bad per se. It's easy to understand, the plot is fun, and it's great, there are a lot of Easter eggs. The game gives you a feeling of wonder and excitement, and there are infinite possibilities out there, and that a lot of other titles can't give you, and the game can work as a standalone title because Microsoft don't know whether this game will be a success or not, and that is something that, it's very unique, so the game gets a point for that. The gameplay of Halo 1 is fun. Like, seriously fun. I could play this gem for hours on end without getting sick of it. Unlike a COD game where it feels like every game is, like most of the new games are just copy-pasted, to be honest. The gameplay is shoot everything that moves in COD. Halo's more methodical in its playstyle. Incredible gameplay, so the AI was insane for the time, And that's a lot of the stuff made Halo famous, which, spawned the sequel, Halo 2. This game's art direction is gorgeous. Each level has a ton of visual variety that's incredibly fun to look at. The art style is consistent the same way the tone of the game is consistent throughout, unlike the remaster. At a point, what else are you gonna say? It's Halo 1. Level design is where CE loses the point. Yes, 2 Betrayals plays very differently, but it was a copy-pasted level and I can't forgive that. I love CE, but come on. Difficulty is just about right. Every time I play on a harder difficulty and I die, it's my fault. And I like that. There's no artificial bullshit that's just like instant death. Try again. Every time a player dies, it's the player's fault. They tried something stupid, and that's what caused them to die. The game modes this game had was impressive considering the fact that the game wasn't made to be played online. They're all fun and balanced. And you have both of the classic Slayer, CTF game modes and whatnot. Kinda bare bones today, but you gotta respect the classics. A point. The gameplay loop is brilliant and was the foundation for Halo's multiplayer for decades to come, and is fun as hell. I don't know what else to say, so let's move on and give them a point for that classic Halo gameplay. There's no balance in this game. Just press Y for the best gun in the game. The Magnum is too overpowered. Jeez. Now. No forge. Alright. So, final rating. Final fun factor. Bare bones, but Magnums on Hang 'em High gets me. Every time. Story. Where do I even start with the story of this game? It's so well written. Every piece of dialogue is so damn awesome. It all fits really well. Now, if you've ever tried to write a book, Dialogue is so hard to nail. It's so hard to write believable dialogue. Yet the creators of this game were able to do it. And each character is brilliant. Arbiter, Johnson, Darius, all these characters are incredibly iconic. And they all feel in place. 10,000 bajillion million points per story. The gameplay is fun. The overloading really added to the gameplay. It's fun as hell to grab stupid combos that you won't pan out. Yes, I know dual wielding a brute plasma rifle with an SMG is not smart, or the SMG with a plasma pistol. I know this shit isn't smart, but I'm gonna do it anyway. The new remastered cutscenes really enhance the already art style, unlike Halo 3, making it look way better than most AAA games out there. The game is simply beautiful. I mean, look at this. And this. And this. Very cool stuff. A lot of points to get there. The level design is more linear, but it just feels just right where I can go exactly what I want. I like that. Nothing is copy-pasted, and it's not too linear where it feels like the game is coddling you. And it's not copy-pasted as well like CC, so it's not like CC level twice. Pretty good. You get a point for that, Halo 2. This is a tribute to like all of the players who were hurt by legendary difficulties destroyed by the Snake Rest in peace. Why? Why did they make it so damn overpowered? Like, just an instant death? Why?
I remember how this war started.
Makes no sense. All you have to do was nail the legendary difficulty and you go home. No, Halo 2, no. This was the first time for a Halo game to go online, so of course the game modes are epic. You have all the classics, but they expanded the game modes to more game modes, which can be commended. The matchmaking was great for the time. It's better than a lot of matchmaking systems today. I mean, look at something like GTA Online. The matchmaking for that is awful. The gameplay loop of the multiplayer was shaken by dual wielding and the combos. It's considered more competitive than Halo 3, but it's still incredibly fun. This game is legendary. Like, it'll forever have a place in my heart, and I love it. And trust me, hold on. Don't try to kill me in my sleep. The story is good, okay, I swear, the story is good. But it was not as good as Halo 2, but still really good, okay? Now let me live. The Arbiter took a bad seat and they changed Jude's character, but it'll never take away from the spectacle of Halo 3's story. It was incredible, I love it. The gameplay feels like a refinement of Halo 2. The new areas give me a feeling of a large world out there, even though there's no large world out there. Along with equipment and dual wielding, it's an incredibly fun game that I keep trying to replay. The art style is brilliant, it looks really pretty, okay? What do you want me to say? God. The level design is easy to navigate like Halo 2, and I like that. It isn't overly complicated, but it works. You get a point there, buddy. The difficulty does have some BS elements on Legendary, but definitely more balanced as Halo 2, but not as good as Halo 3 ODST. It's a great expansion, and the story and the characters were great. The feel was incredible. It was like the first kind of open world Halo game, before Infinite, but not really. And where you're trying to piece together the mysteries, and then finally, it's like prequel to Halo 3, and it was very fun, and it was a fun expansion. Oh, I was trying to talk about the game modes. Wait a minute, customs? Oh my god, there are like an infinite, like a Halo infinite amount of game modes out here. You can just go into the custom browsers, find whatever you want, and just have fun with it, The gameplay loop is great, it's quite enjoyable, it's like classic Halo, and the weapon balance is great, and dual wielding is still here, but it's more balanced to me. The game's fun, it's Halo 3. Why do you think people like it as much as COD 4? No, people like it way more than COD 4. Something. Why? The story is great. Noble Team's story of being the last Spartans on Reach. Great, as you all abandon Hope and all this, and everyone slowly dies. And then Noble 6 does a brutal death as he fights off elites and dies. Yeah, I mean, it's a really great story, and that's the point. The gameplay is fun. The addition of Sprint is fun. The campaign, not outside the campaign. And the jetpack and armor lock is fun too. Not in the campaign. Say it with me. For you, armor lock. For you, armor lock. Yeah, the gameplay in the campaign is great. The art style is great. It looks like the tech of the original trilogy, but older and more archaic. And the game looks great for today's standards. And I like that. You get a point. The elites in this game have a certain bullshit to them, you know? Not like the sniper jackals, but a weird kind of bullshit. It's more manageable than the sniper jackals, but yeah, bullshit. No pointo, buddy. Alright, it's time for the multiplayer. Game modes remain the same except for a few additions, like stockpile and a point. Oh, and except SWAT. Yeah, Halo game modes are great. SWAT sucks. And obviously custom games are still here. The abilities fucked with the gameplay loop. Sprint did not work. Sorry Halo Reach fans. In armor lock sucked balls. You're about to finish off a dude, and then boom, he goes into armor lock. It's like a safe space or something. It's so annoying. The gun balance is fucked. Too, okay? It's the DMR or nothing because of blue. It's not fun, and that sucks. Forge was improved, I guess. I mean, there were more options, which made the game modes more fun. But apart from that, it was alright. Trust me, I love Reach, the entire game, but I think it has, and I think the multiplayer actually has some major flaws. The story sucks. It's a forced romance between Chief and Cortana. That's stupid. Also, the game just created stupid excuses for you to fight the Covenant, even though there was no reason to fight the Covenant. So instead of coming up with a new faction, they'll just fight the Covenant. That's so stupid. Anyway, the story sucks balls. Nope, apart from the mech sections, it isn't fun to play. The linear levels are closed and boring, and I hate the gameplay. The Promethean weapons don't even function well, and I'll forever hate them. The art style of this game sucks. It betrayed the old art style of the old Halo games and made it super whack. Chief's armor went from green to black, and his visor went from yellow to orange. Why? Why would they do that? These levels suck. They're too linear. There's no spectacle in it. Halo is known for its spectacle, so this makes zero sense. It's really boring. Difficulty. Now on Legendary, you may think you want to make the game harder, by increasing the enemy ranks, making it smarter or something like that. But the makers of Halo 4 thought, hey, what if we took the ammo supply and made it like The Last of Us? Before The Last of Us even existed. Like, why the actual fuck would they do that? The multiplayer is worse. Why? The game modes are okay, but the gameplay makes them play way too differently. The gameplay is too shitty. It took Sprint and made it infinite, and they took weapons and made it like a god created class. What the actual fuck? There's no balance. Create a class ruined this game, and that's a damn shame. Forge was improved, but changed nothing, like barely anything, compared to Reach, which is stupid. sucked this game. No plot. No, the plot is shit. Like it's like no plot here. They killed Cortana in Halo 4, only to bring her back in 5. Like nothing happened. The Arbiter acted wacko. Hell, even the Chief is acting wacko. Why do we have to play a Spartan Lock, aka the most bland character ever? Why? The plot sucks doo doo. No, the gameplay sucked ass, and the new Promethean weapons still suck. And the Prometheans still suck, too. Oh yeah, the Warden Eternal. It was cool the first time, but after the 5th time, it got really annoying. Fuck the Warden Eternal. It's not pretty. Halo 5 betrays the art style of the old Halo games. And am I the only one who thinks Halo 5 looks graphically better because of how cluttered Halo 5's environments are? No, level design is just, walking from one empty corridor to another. Sometimes there are enemies, you shoot them enemies, and you go on to the next area. You find enemies, you shoot them enemies, blah blah blah. Roll credits. Why yes, legendary difficulty is bullshit. You die instantly. So much that if teammates try to save you, those AI teammates, you come, and they try to come, they die, or, they get stuck on a rock because they can't on their programming. I don't wanna do the multiplayer. Okay, no further launch. Wait, this means the game mode's gonna be severely lacking. Wait, BDV is gone and is replaced by some pay to win stuff? What the hell? Hey, the Avengers abilities don't mix well with the gameplay. With the style that Halo promises to its audience. They increase the flow of combat so much just for advanced movement trends. The microtransactions ruin the balance. When you can buy your way to victory, where's the fun? What's the point? Why do I play video games? Why do I exist? What's the point of life? And if goddamn microtransactions give me an existential crisis, what the average? When Forge did show up, but it was pretty good. But it still took months to arrive, and couldn't they have delayed the game for it? This game sucks. Just sucks. It's my verdict. Yep, final verdict. It still sucks. Better than Halo 5, that's still full of exposition dumps and the cutscenes have been eliminated and major events happen off-screen for some reason. And Cortana was a huge threat, and then they were like, yep, she killed her. Well, she's dead. She's no longer a threat. Just off-screen. Why? And cutscenes have been deleted for some reason. So, yeah. The gameplay has gone open world. Halo works as an open world game, as ODST showed, but it can be incredibly boring. But the grappling hook? The grappling hook adds something. Halo is back! Yeah, the art style. The old art style is back, which means it looks kinda pretty on low settings, and the game's optimized. Oh, wait a minute. It's a catch. All of the open world interiors and exteriors look the same. Why? You were this close to victory, but you just squandered it. It's fun to navigate the levels to its open world, although the foreground of the interior levels are indoors and linear. So it's that. Overall, the level design's okay. The difficulty is gone back to being kind of like CE, but there's no bullshit, unlike 4, 5, or 2. So that's good. Game mode wise, no Forge at launch. Said life. They starved us for game modes because gamers are a minority and Microsoft is helpful. Gameplay wise, Halo Infinite's multiplayer is incredible. Minimalized sprint and no advanced movement means that Halo can again be Halo. Yippee, motherfuckers! Okay, it's not balanced. The new weapons are bad, and the old weapons are slightly OP, but I'm sure this will be fixed in due time. It's a really good game. I really would recommend it. It's time for the rankings. Halo 5 is in last place. It's a shitty game and a shitty time. Next up's Halo 4. It's not as bad as Halo 5, but still bad. Halo Infinite, it's pretty good. Reach has its problems, but it's great. These last ones were impossible to rank, but Halo CE, it's an incredible game and it started the Halo franchise. Without it, there is no Halo. Halo 3 is an incredible multiplayer that I'll love forever, and it'll be remembered forever, and it's great. Lastly, Halo 2. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is legendary. I might review all of these games instead of just ranking them. I'm sure you guys got a slight idea anyway, because most of these games are very epic. Thank you for watching.